An international station for an international city. This is Radio 3. Money Talk.
Good morning, time's 8:03. Welcome to the start of a holiday-shortened week here in Hong Kong. This is Money Talk on Radio 3 on Monday the 11th of April. Peter Lewis here with today's business and finance headlines. Health officials in Shanghai reported Sunday a ninth straight day of record new COVID-19 cases as the city of 25 million people remains in lockdown. Authorities reported a total of almost 25,000 local COVID cases for April the 9th, up from over 23,600 the previous day.
Money Talk on RTHK Radio 3.
The time's 8:24, and also up in Shanghai we have independence economist Andy Sher. Morning, Andy.
Good morning, Peter.
Now, I think you're in the Puxi district, aren't you, of Shanghai at the moment. What is the situation up there like at the moment?
Well, it's lockdown, and people are locked inside, so you don't see anything outside. And it's been a long time, and you try to make do inside your home. And the most important thing is to put the food on the table.
And how do you do that? Because we're hearing that it's getting quite difficult. You can't go out to the supermarkets and the deliveries, the online delivery apps. They're overwhelmed.
Yeah, I think the issue is not the capacity per se. It's really the virus seems like is infecting the supply chain. So the government has these stringent rules if a truck can come in or not. So a lot of truckers that they pass through high-risk areas and their health codes turn colors. Then they cannot get in. Then the stuff gets rotten on the highway. So this is kind of a impossible situation. And anywhere around Shanghai is a high-risk area now. So if a truck comes in, even though the driver is inside the truck, and his health code will turn color. So I don't know how the government is going to solve this problem.
What do the residents of Shanghai think about this strategy? I mean, Shanghai has been put into this total lockdown as part of the zero COVID policy to get the cases back down to zero, as close as possible to zero. Do residents think, first of all, that it's working, and do they think this is worth it in order to try and do that?
I think that if we all hunker down for a week and the virus kind of gone as expected, then it will be fine. I think right now it is not happening. There's still every day you see lots of cases. So the issue is where these cases are from. Now the suspicion is on this COVID test, because it's been many tests. People called down to line up to do the tests. So there are some thoughts that this could be the reason. So actually these lockdown procedures are making the problem worse. But we don't know. The nature of the virus is not fully understood. The other is on the food situation is very serious. I think that for a lot of the young, energetic, and tech-savvy people, they know how to kind of do these things, like rushing in as soon as something becomes available. But Shanghai is a very old city. Lots of old people live alone, and their children have immigrated. It's very difficult for these people. And they stored up. The governor said it would be 5 days. I think they probably stored up for 2 weeks. That's what I heard. But beyond 2 weeks, a lot of people are in risk. These people usually don't shop online. For them to grab something like at a time like this, it's very hard.
So what happens when this is over? Has the government got to rethink its policy? Because it's quite possible that there will later on be another wave. There may be another variant of the COVID-19 virus. Can Shanghai and other cities go through this all over again?
That's the issue, is that the virus is going around. Actually, it's already around. So it's a matter of time other cities get locked down. So the initial thought that somehow you could keep the virus in Shanghai, that was pretty wrong. Now you look at the situation in Guangzhou, in Xi'an, and I think a lot of other cities will follow. So this thing can last for a long time if the government still wants to pursue zero COVID. So it's really too early to think how to deal with this after you get to zero. It's going to be a long time.
And what's
I think that afterwards we don't know. I think that the government does not understand how what this virus is like and how it has changed. So what worked 2 years ago, right now is not working. So that understanding hasn't happened yet.
And what's going to be the economic impact on the mainland of this lockdown?
I think that in China, politics about over everything else. So the economic impact is really huge. It's much bigger than 2 years ago. It's not just the service sector is locked up. Obviously, it's half of the economy. The manufacturing sector is very impacted, and the supply chain is very long for any product. So if you have lockdown in this city and that city, the supply chain is disrupted. So the manufacturing sector this time is not up and running. Major auto manufacturers have announced a suspension of production. So you can't imagine what's going on. I think that the economy right now is contracting very rapidly.
Okay, well, Andy, stay safe up there. Good to talk to you. That's Andy Sher, Shanghai-based independent economist.
You're listening to Money Talk on RTHK Radio 3.